Coming up on this episode of Flirtations, we're joined by Sam Ogborn, a marketing strategist, creator, and pop culture commentator who has a unique lens on how the internet influences the ways we connect. Sam is here to help us break down the narratives we're constantly consuming, from viral videos to marketing campaigns, and what they reveal about our desires, expectations, and identities. How do algorithms and social media shape dating? What about the role of AI? How do we search for belonging and community online through fandoms, message boards, and private spaces? And what does this mean for connection? Finally, where do we go from here? Are algorithm-free spaces the new frontier online? This one's all about dating in the age of algorithms and how we can still find something real in a digital world. All right, Flirties, it's time to log on, slow the scroll, and meet Sam.
I heard you wanted to flirt. I heard you wanted to flirt. I heard you wanted to flirt. Hello, my name is Benjamin. I'm the flirt coach and a gay Libra. Everyone has an inner flirt.
Hey, Flirty.
Live, laugh, flirt.
Work the flirt.
Work the flirt. Delulu is the Salulu. Expert on the flirt.
Hey, Flirty. There's always another flirt.
Everyone has an inner flirt. Get out of your head and into the flirt.
Flirties, on the show today is Sam Ogborn. Sam is a marketing strategist, creator, and pop culture commentator who has a unique lens on how the internet shapes the ways we connect. With her background in brand storytelling and digital culture, Sam breaks down the narratives we're constantly consuming, from viral videos to the latest advertising stunts. And today we're diving into all things pop culture, social media, and the future of dating in a digital world. Hi, Sam, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. I love how it's like, and the future of dating. Like, and let's just like tack that on.
Oh, we're going to be talking about AI today.
Yeah, great. I love it. There's so much going on. Yeah.
A lot. I have been going down many rabbit holes as of late for different reasons, but also to prepare for this interview. I mean, I've been following you for a while, watching many of your videos. I just thank you so much for being on the show today.
I'm so excited to be here. And I'm so excited to talk about all these things that sometimes I don't get a chance to talk about.
Yes, because you are, I mean, let's learn a little bit more about you here. At the top, you talk a lot about marketing on your channel, sort of brand advertising, how to build a brand, and all of this. I feel like there's so many parallels to dating.
I use dating as a comparison all the time. In fact, it's when I was in the corporate world, it was one of my favorite comparisons to make because it was one of the easiest ways for people to understand how marketing works. And
how did you get, and sales, yes. How did you get started in this?
Well, I actually so I just studied journalism in school. Okay. And I don't want to age myself, but this was like back around when the recession was happening when I graduated, and I needed a job. So I got offered a sales job, like a new business job in an agency. Yes. And I took it because I needed a job. And I went to go work in it, and I hated sales, like absolutely despised it. And so I started to learn social media. I would pick up social media on the side. I would start to teach myself Instagram, or not Instagram at the time, it was Pinterest and Twitter. Yeah. And over time, I started to find ways to become an expert in it so that I could get into it in a way, because I didn't want to do sales. It was like the bane of my existence. Even to this day, any kind of like selling to me makes me super uncomfortable. It's weird.
Oh my gosh, you have so much in common. I was also in school, transitioning into the workplace around the time of the Great Recession, 2008. And so I just decided, let me go to grad school. Let me just do that instead. And I also really don't like selling.
Good. Yeah. It's weird.
It's a problem when you're a business owner.
It is. You have to get comfortable with it. And I still feel very much uncomfortable with it.
Yeah. That's why I have other part-time jobs. And this is still sometimes an expensive hobby, but I love it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I can't stop. I know I've heard so many different things, like maybe you've heard too, that selling is serving. That's one that has always stuck with me. I'm like, well, maybe, but also selling is just selling.
I think serving is selling, in my opinion. Because I think you have to have value in order to, and once again, this goes back to dating in a lot of ways, right? Yeah. You have to serve and you have to show who you are and how you think in order for someone to be interested.
Okay. This is, all right, let's get into this. I thought it would be fun to read. I just pulled this from Match.com's website as we're talking about branding a little bit, which kind of seems inauthentic when we're talking about ourselves. And yet in a way, this is exactly what we're going to be doing when we're dating. All right. So the Match.com website says, you know what you want. We're here to help you find it. You're looking for something real, an authentic connection that is built on deep conversations, quality time, and shared goals. You're not afraid to commit, and you're not afraid to be honest about what you need for the long term. And above all, you know that your best self deserves to be with someone else's best self. From initial spark to the first date and beyond, we're with you every step of the way. Join Match today and start dating authentically.
Sounds like a lot of shit to me.
I want to get your marketing perspective on it. Like, this is right from their homepage, right? Like, how is this language a little coded? Like, if we're going to read between the lines, what is Match saying to us?
Yeah, it sounds like they're saying you want an authentic connection, show up as your best self. It's a lot of jargon for not saying a lot, to be honest. And I think it shows just how challenging dating is right now, because I think if anyone were to read that, it probably wouldn't resonate with them. I think an easier way to talk about dating right now would be like, there's a lot of shit out there, and you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. And we're going to give you a bunch of different options that you can choose from to decide who fits you best. And if it doesn't work, we're here for you, kind of thing. Like, just cut the bullshit and get to the like real heart of what's going on. I think there are a lot of things in there too that rub me the wrong way, like saying that you need to show up as your best self. I think that's an issue with dating, because everyone does show up as their best self. They create these profiles as this idealized version of themselves. But then when it comes time to true vulnerability and really connecting with someone, that's where things become troubling. You also have these dating apps who they've created this environment of the grass is always greener and things always being better out there. Yeah. And they try not to look at that. They like turn their heads. They're like, that's not what we represent. And it's like, that's not really true. You do enable that behavior, and you've created that behavior. So if I were a dating app or I was providing a dating service, I would want to be honest about what service I'm actually providing. And I would also want to be clear too, that there's a lot of frogs out there in dating. Yeah. And not that like everyone that signs up is this like great person. Like, let's not romanticize it. We all know that dating apps suck. Like, can someone just come out and say it and then maybe show why they're different? Yeah. I mean, Match.com, the owner of Tinder and a bunch of the other dating apps, of course, like the website, Match.com, and a bunch of others. Yeah, I feel like it, because the Flirties, everyone listening, like, they're the people showing up to the dating apps and on their dates with like some questions they want to ask, even if they're nervous. They're putting at least some effort into their profile, selecting their pictures. What am I going to say? Like, they're really trying to find their person. They're trying to find that relationship, or at least date in a way where it feels more focused or more intention. So we don't just kind of get lost in this whole process and someone else's needs become our needs kind of thing. Like, we can really stay true to ourselves. But I agree with what you're saying. Like, it paints just this kind of, it's just going to happen, right? Like, we have everything you need here. It's going to work out, without really giving credence to a lot of the difficulties you're going to experience. Like, what happens when like the match just falls off, or the conversation falls off, or what happens when I'm swiping and I'm not getting any matches? What are you going to do about the catfish profiles and the AI and the bots? Like, how are you going to actually help me have a quality user experience so that I can feel like I can be really authentic and also find people that are also showing up authentically? Like, what are you actually doing to make that happen? I agree. And I got into a little tiff with someone a few weeks ago on dating apps, because I do think that there's a lot of dating apps that are coming out that do have pure intentions and that do want to help people. But I think we can all acknowledge that, just like in marketing, when you're testing a brand and you're evaluating a brand, you don't just listen to what they say, you watch what they do. And in dating, you have to do the same thing. When you go on dates with someone, you have to understand who their actions align with what they're telling me their values are. Are they putting that into practice? It's the same thing with brands. So similarly to what you're saying, if I were a dating app where I were providing this kind of service, What I would do instead is help you along your dating journey and help you make the best decisions for yourself as you go on the journey to help you evaluate how you find that person, instead of just saying, here are a bunch of people on a silver platter. They might be lying about who they are. They might be lying about their intentions or their values, but you're going to have to figure that out for yourself.
Right.
Like, where is the dating app or service that actually helps you through dating? I would love to see it.
I would love to see it too. Should we start it?
Yeah. This is like every night with my friends. We're like, let's just have a glass of wine. Oh my God, we should do this. Because I'm single. My friends are single. And we're like, let's just do it.
That's when all the best business ideas come to me, I swear. In the late night hours, after a glass of Pinot or something, I feel like I can take over the world, right? Solve everyone's dating woes.
And then the next day, nothing happens. It's like, okay, we're just back to normal.
Oh gosh.
But yeah.
Back to normal. Let me pour my coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to stay here for a minute, and from your experience in marketing and sales too, just learn about how companies build brands. Like, I'm really curious to hear a little bit about that, whether we're talking about Match, whether we're talking about another company, whether we're talking about any company kind of like in the dating relationship space that is going to be selling us something, probably.
I have so many parallels to dating, and this isn't even intentional. It's just how I think about marketing. When you have an idea for a brand or you want to start a brand, it's really not about you. It's about what you can do in service to others. And this is where I feel like as time has gone on, I've become maybe a little bit more of a marketing critic than a marketer, because a lot of brands are doing this shallow surface level marketing when really it's not in service and not really speaking to the people that they want to be speaking to. And it's not fully addressing the challenges, problems that those people solve. So a lot of people have ideas to build a brand or to do something. But what really matters is, outside of yourself, are you bringing an idea? Are you creating an idea that actually helps other people? Is there a need for that? Not how much money can we make from this, but do people actually want this? And that is hard, because if you have a great idea, immediately you're like, well, I have this problem. Other people probably have this problem too, but that's not always the case. You really do have to go out and ask people and talk to them and see if that really is a challenge for them. Yeah. And that's hard.
So far, it's something I did not do, because some of the strategies that I learned early on, I did all of those programs like 0 to 10K, right? Your 10K roadmap. It seemed like the big number, at least a couple kind of 2-3 years ago, was that when I was getting started, was that 10K month. And so one thing they would tell you to do, and I couldn't ever do it, was that you play to the pain, right? You play into someone's, like, what's actually bothering them underneath the surface. And so if someone's dating and they're single, maybe they have recently been through a breakup. And so you kind of play into the pain of rejection and abandonment. Or if they're feeling really lonely, you play on maybe the isolation and loneliness piece of things. If they feel like they're not good enough, right? They're not handsome, pretty enough. They're not enough of something. You play into that. And then what happens is, surprise, no surprise, you position yourself as the person that has the solution, right? The answer to their problem. And now they want to work with you. At least in theory, that's how it's supposed to work. But I just wanted to get your opinion on that too.
Yeah, I think there's truth to it. People have problems and you want to bring solutions to them. But it's a matter of are you being sincere about it, or are you talking to a problem that only further makes them feel like they have a problem, instead of really helping them see that there is a true solution for it. I do believe that a lot of brands start because because people need solutions to things. Yeah. But I do think that some of the marketing advice is more about agitating someone's like issues or challenges that they face and almost making them feel less than. And I don't necessarily believe that should be the case. I think that you should show that you have a genuine solution for them. And what does that solution look like? And once again, it goes back to the actions. So how are you showing up a lot of brands online, they really cater to getting the first sale, getting that person to come in the first time.
Yeah.
Where I think a lot of brands miss the mark. And similarly, going back to dating is like, it really doesn't matter about the first date. It really doesn't matter about that first purchase. It matters consistently how you maintain that relationship with that customer, with that person that you're dating. It's the culmination of your actions that cultivate the brand. And it's the culmination of someone's actions that cultivate who they are as a person. Yeah. So that needs to be clear and consistent. And I think right now what we're seeing is that a lot of brands who have seen opportunities to make quick money now are faced with being asked about their values or what they represent or what they believe in as a brand, which a lot of people would argue, well, that's a brand. I don't look to them for that.
Right.
But I would challenge that though. So you would be okay if they had sweatshops. You would be okay if they are greenwashing, but they're not actually doing things to change the climate. Like, would you be okay with that in dating? Like, probably not. Like, so you should hold brands to the same standard. So I think consumers need to feel more empowered to put their money where their mouth is and say, I'm choosing this brand because I believe in what they stand for. And they've shown me that consistently over time, just like how you would evaluate someone in dating.
All right. This is really interesting because you're going to see that play out sometimes in dating where maybe someone is kind of like positioning themselves as like, oh, right, I can take care of you. Like I've got everything you want kind of thing. Like I'm going to be your dream person. But I love that you keep saying that pay attention to those actions, like pay attention to what they're actually doing. I always say that words signal interest. Great. We want to see interest in the people we're dating, but those actions, that signals intention. And so when those words and actions start to align, when interest and intention align, that's when like you can really see how someone is showing up. And what you were just talking about, it's like, I'm seeing this too, I feel like in branding and marketing where people and companies are transitioning more to that values-based marketing. Like you want to believe in the companies that you're buying from, that you're supporting with your money. And I think this language comes through in this Match.com thing we read earlier about authenticity, right? Not wanting to waste your time, being able to find your person, and really so playing into those values of someone that's looking for commitment, right? Wanting to
play into it, but then you don't. But then your services show otherwise. Your services make money by almost exposing people to people that they shouldn't be with, and then you're not helping them through the process. So, in my mind, reading that, it sounds like a bunch of shit because I'm like, you're not actually. Like you're not doing what you're saying that you're doing. Like that's nice that it sounds like that, but you're not actually following through. As you're talking, it reminds me of the movie Elf, where they have like that sign. I think it's like world's best coffee, and he like runs in and he's like, "You did it! Like congratulations!" You know what I mean? Like, imagine if we all looked at brands and we're like, "Oh my god, you said that you're the best! Like you did it." Can you imagine doing that in dating? If someone said like, I'm a really good person. Would you be like, I believe that now? You would never. Right. You'd be like, show me.
There would definitely be, I hope, some skepticism, right?
Yes.
At least a little bit.
Maybe I'm more skeptic. I mean, I probably come from a more skeptical side because I'm on the brand side and I work with brands and I see this all the time, but you have to follow through on what you're saying. And it's not that people can't use these services. That's not what I'm saying. They absolutely should because it helps you meet people that you might not meet otherwise. But let's not fall for the fact that they're making money on our happiness. They're making our money based on our lack of ability to meet people.
I always say it's like these apps, they're tools, right?
Yeah.
You just got like, they're a tool. They're not a solution. They're not a one size fits all, but they're a tool in your dating toolbox so that you can meet people you might otherwise never ever meet. So I want to kind of the transition here is I want to talk about the algorithm and community building. And so I want to get your perspective on not just the algorithm specific to dating apps or social media, but this idea that like how our beliefs maybe start to develop based on how we interact with the world, right? The algorithm really being a metaphor for where intention goes, energy flows, right?
Totally. It's such a good question. I'm even working through this myself. I don't know if I have a perfect answer. I think we are now more than ever, it's important for us to take a step back and actually ask ourselves what we believe in and why we believe in it, because we are so conditioned by these algorithms to believe and do certain things. One thing that I thought was interesting was I live in Chicago, Lollapalooza's here, and there was a girl that had posted about Lollapalooza saying, people wearing outfits at Lollapalooza this year, it's so unoriginal. Like everyone's wearing the same thing.
Okay.
And I was like, well, that's funny because everyone's wearing the same thing based on the algorithm that they're served, right?
Yes.
So as much as you'd like to put yourself on a pedestal and say, like, I think differently, I am a different person. Well, that might be true in certain circumstances. We're filtering our lives right now through algorithms, whether it's through dating, whether it's through social media.
Yeah.
So it's harder and harder to really understand who we are as people and why. But that's not to say that we haven't been influenced by things in the past. It just look different. So algorithms are the same. They elicit the same type of social bias that we had growing up when we just talked to our friends or, for some people had phone. Like it's all the same thing. It's just a different flavor. But I do think it's a good exercise to be able to take a step back and say like, okay, what do I think and believe? And what are my values outside of like what I'm seeing online? Like if a video didn't tell you what they should be, what would you think they should be?
This is, it's so important. Like, I mean, just kind of how the algorithm works, like just a simple example, like let's say you really like cats and the algorithm knows that you're on social media, you're on a site somewhere. And so it's going to show you a cat video. And then it also knows you've been interacting maybe with some dating content, maybe you're single, it knows you're a woman. Oh, so now it's maybe going to kind of play into like the single cat lady, right? You're lonely. And now it's going to start serving you some content about that and maybe playing into some of those fears, maybe playing into some of those beliefs and biases you have about yourself. Oh my gosh, am I the last single friend? Is it never going to happen to me? And then here you go further and further, deeper and deeper. And before you know it, you may believe something about yourself that isn't even true, right? That was kind of fed to you by the algorithm. But this is like, it's like you're kind of like following the breadcrumb trail.
Yeah, it's kind of like the pineapple on pizza thing when everyone has that in their profile. It's like, but what do you think for yourself? Like, could you put something in there that's like your opinion or your belief? Like, I don't know. But something that I did last year that I think maybe everyone should consider doing is I created a separate account and conditioned my algorithm when the election was happening to see the other side. So I had two varying algorithms at play. And it was really helpful for me because it allowed me to see how people were talking about things and how it could broaden my perspective. I do think being exposed to things outside of what you believe and what you think is really important. And I would love to see in the future, whether it's dating apps or whether it's social media, more autonomy for us to pick the algorithms that we want versus just being handed them to us. Like, what if I decided that I wanted to have a new hobby?
Right.
What kind of algorithm could you give me to help me discover what my next hobby should be? Could it be something that looks entirely different?
I would love that.
Same.
Yeah. What do you think about pineapple on pizza?
Fine. Like, people are like, I love tacos. Like, okay, same.
Who doesn't?
Like, who doesn't? Like,
that's a universal food.
Yeah. But I also too think that there's a lot of people, and I would be curious to get your thoughts on this as well, especially with your audience. There are a lot of people that are really interesting that are really bad at making dating profiles.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, part of this is sometimes it's a little bit of fear, or maybe we've been like, it's kind of that one comment theory where one person at some point in your life that you dated or you had a crush on or that you were really close to told you like, God, you're boring. Do you not have like any interesting hobbies? Like, do you not do anything fun? And maybe you were able to brush it off, or maybe depending on the person or how you were feeling, it really sticks with you. And what we were talking about earlier, it's like we do more often than not want to put our best foot forward. We want to make that best first impression. We don't always do it in the best or healthiest ways. Like I'm watching those dating videos about the first date and seeing some of these things like that guys are saying, and because that's where my algorithm is. And I'm like, oh my God, even if your intentions were like, you just wanted to be impressive. Oh, Lord. But yeah, I think it's, if you want to do the pineapple and pizza, right? Yay or nay, two truths and a lie, some of those things on your dating app profiles. I get it. Right? It's a place to start.
You'll meet people in person would be my advice for that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing. Go catch a flirter too.
Yeah. I mean, you want, like, I do think how someone fills out their profile too is an indication of their maybe interest or prioritization of dating, maybe, would you say?
Oh, 100%. Like, I believe lazy profile, lazy dater. Like, if no one has, I mean, because if you're dating and you actually want a relationship or you're looking to just go on dates, you've got to give the other person enough information and knowledge for them to be able to decide if they want to go on a date with you. So if you're not putting anything in your profile, to me, you're just not really, your head's not in the game. It's just sort of like, I feel like I need to do this. It's like you're dating, but not dating. Someone dared you to do it. Someone told you to do it. You're getting pressure from family or something, but it's not just about you. It's about the people you're going to date as well. And so when someone just has nothing in their profile, I'm like, really?
What do you think is a red flag in their profile?
Like something like in their bio?
Yeah.
Oh, anyone. I mean, some of these basics, like, no drama.
Do people say that?
Oh my gosh, all the time.
Those are like the most dramatic people too.
They're always.
Yeah.
Always. They always bring the drama. I mean, anyone in a profile who's talking badly about an ex or a past relationship, like, that is definitely going to be a red flag. Something that's not a red flag to me that maybe is to others are the fish pics.
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay with the fish pics, honestly.
I love a strong man holding a fish. Like, okay.
Who cares? He's got a hobby. He obviously has at least one friend. I doubt it was like a selfie.
Driving the boat. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So, yay, he's got a friend and he does things. He gets outside.
That's true. That's a good one.
Those are 2 green flags already.
Yeah.
I want to, all right, so how can we start to just develop a little bit of self-awareness, maybe like when we're going down these rabbit holes of the algorithm where we're just like kind of constantly swiping on an app, or we're just like bleary-eyed on social media? Like, how can we kind of catch ourselves before someone else determines what our own beliefs are, right? Because the words matter. I will always stand by this, that words matter.
It's so hard. It's such a hard thing to do. Think about how people use social media right now as a way to unwind from their day.
Yeah.
Or to escape anxiety that they might be feeling. There's so many reasons why we turn to our phones. And there's so many reasons why the algorithm is designed. It's designed to keep us on our phones because it's designed to be like a slot machine.
Yeah.
And I can say that as a marketer, it's important for brands, and I work with a lot of founders who are building amazing things. It's important to understand how these things work so that you can reach people. But it's also important as a consumer to understand how it works so that you can set boundaries for yourself. I am not great at setting boundaries because this is my job in a lot of ways. So that's something that I'm still trying to figure out for myself. One thing that I've learned is finding hobbies that keep me engaged. So I love to do, I love to read. I just started knitting, and knitting gives me the same desire that I have with my hands that I might get from scrolling. And it also occupies my hands. So it gives me this brain space that I need to do something that's not on my phone, which I really appreciate. I love to cook. I think it's really taking a step back and evaluating what your hobbies are that don't involve technology. And it's really hard to do. It's like one of the hardest things I think you can do, because you can get into these spirals where you're on your phone hoping that the next best thing is right around the corner. It's like if you're in a bad mood, you're just hoping that the algorithm's going to give you a really funny video that's going to make you feel better. But then what happens after that funny video? You see that funny video.
I want another one.
Exactly.
What if the next one's funnier?
Right. And do you not think that that's how dating apps feel sometimes?
Yeah, partly for sure. Yeah,
I think there needs to be a cap, I think, for people. If I were I firmly believe that social media should be age restricted. First of all, I think maybe people under 18 should not have access to it because I cannot imagine growing up in a world where being as insecure as I was when I grew up, that and how everyone was, that would be available to me. I think that would be incredibly toxic. And then I think that there should be time limits on it for everyone, just like there should be some kind of encouragement for you to step outside and take a walk in nature. I think that these are all things that cultivate a healthy life. It doesn't have to be so black and white where you just don't use it at all, because that's not realistic. But there does need to be some kind of trade-off where you're putting it down and you're leaving. And I'm testing different things. So I have this thing called a brick, which I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like this little device, and you brick your phone basically and block it from apps so that you don't use them. And that's been helpful for me. There's also this app that I use on my Mac called Raycast, and it immediately creates a focus session and blocks everything for me that I need.
Wow.
So I have these things that I'm testing to see if it helps, because even as a marketer, I have to take myself away from it. And it is hard too, because I would say, oh, well, just go to a news site if you want to be informed. But I don't necessarily know if news sites are the best places to go be informed right now with everything that's going on, at least here in the States.
Yeah.
So I don't have a great answer for that, but I do think the answer is just at least getting away a little bit where you can, and also recognizing why you're using it. For dating apps, are you being intentional in using it because you want to meet someone, or are you just looking to pass the time?
Yeah. No, I think that was a fantastic answer. It's something I think about all the time. I'm trying different things, like different apps on my phone, or am I setting a timer? Like, what am I doing so I don't all of a sudden look up and it's been like hours and I've just been scrolling. I want to ask you, because you made a video about this somewhat recently, this transition to algorithm-free spaces. Do you think that's going to be a trend?
I do.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be a trend sooner rather than later. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be so algorithmic free in the beginning because of how used to the algorithms people are right now. But I do think that people are going to be searching for ways to escape algorithms that are dictated by companies that are making money off of you.
Yeah. And are you seeing, I just feel like I don't really see this. You know, it seems like every time something's happening with TikTok or something like that, you know, it's like, oh, I'm out, I'm off, like I'm deleting the app. Do you think like people are really leaving social media just in these mass quantities?
It's Groundhog's Day. We've done this so many times.
Oh my gosh. Are we going to actually lose it this time? What's happening, Sam?
I'm exhausted.
God. Yeah. Wasn't something supposed to happen like the other day?
This has happened like 3 times now where things have supposed to, Well, the challenge is if you look at Pew Research, Pew even says this, that majority of people are now turning to social media for their news. And it's especially important sometimes because, not saying that people on social media have the best journalistic integrity. However, people are scrambling right now to find sources of truth.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough time right now. I hope that there are, there's absolutely money to be made. If we want to talk about businesses to go into, maybe one of your listeners can solve for the addiction to social media or algorithms, or even at least creating more sensible boundaries around it. That is like a multi-trillion-dollar business idea, because everyone is in the same headspace right now. So just FYI, if someone wants to start that.
Could that be for future Flirt Coach business? Another side hustle?
Yeah.
Another side quest, as they say? Oh my God, Sam. I don't think I possibly could.
I wonder if it's going to be, if these types of experiences are going to start popping up where people can actually disconnect and they go somewhere almost like they're going to like summer camp.
Wow.
Like a retreat in some way.
I would love that. Adult summer camp. Yes, please. I know they exist. I've never been to one.
Right.
But God.
Think about it. And then
amazing.
You can come back and feel refreshed and then have maybe more boundaries with your phone.
Yeah.
But do I think algorithm free is the future? 100%. Do I think that there are still going to be apps that exist that have algorithms? Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
If I were a billionaire right now overseeing one of these social platforms, I would be nervous, especially because with the political climate that we're in, people are seeking answers to things. And if you have people in these positions that are bending knees to an administration to dictate what happens in the algorithms, then what are people going to do? They're not going to just blindly stay on those apps despite, whether or not their friends are on it or not. They're not really even using it for that at this point. They're more so using it as their source of truth, source of news. If that becomes modified in any way, which it already starts to feels like it is in some ways, then where do you go? Then you go to what I think is going to be this decentralized social media movement of leaving these platforms that are owned by these bigger companies and going to smaller platforms that have smaller owners.
Okay.
And you own your data. You can just move around as you please.
Okay. This is really interesting. We're dancing all around current events today. I love it. We have to talk about this stuff.
And what if your future is like meeting your soulmate on a decentralized social media app?
I think that's a very plausible reality. If it's not already happening, because one thing that these platforms and the algorithm does, like I want to talk about these concepts of belonging and community, where I think, sometimes we're looking for dopamine. We're looking for something fun, funny, just to get out of our heads. We're in a low mood, bad mood. We're sad, depressed. We need some stimulation, or maybe we're just bored. We might be going to these places for information. If we feel like we can't trust news sources, right? If we feel like we're not getting the full picture, if we're not getting information real time, well, I know somewhere probably I can go. And then there's also this idea that we go to these places to feel like we belong somewhere, like we're not alone, like someone else believes and thinks in the same ways that we do. And when we start doing that, then we start to build communities, except in these communities, there's no diversity of thought and idea, maybe even of race, culture, religion, right? We kind of now exist in these algorithm-free vacuums where what's even the truth anymore? One may argue.
I know.
Indeed. Yeah. So I want to get your perspective on these concepts of belonging and community, and just how the digital world plays into that.
It's potentially toxic because it's important for us as humans to experience contrast, in my opinion.
I think so too.
Yeah. So that means diversity of thought, diversity of backgrounds, diversity of values. Even if we think about our dating experiences and going on dates, there might be someone that you don't click with on a date, but you have a really interesting conversation and you can appreciate and understand where they're coming from. And maybe that conversation also shifts the way that you think about things. That is so important. And when we think about communities and cults, and I don't mean to assimilate them so casually because they are separate, but they could very well become the same thing if people aren't careful. It's very important that we listen to people who have transparency and integrity and are honest about things. And this divide is really going to affect us as humans, because the best thing that we can do is appreciate and understand and listen to the people around us. And if we don't do that, then we are doing ourselves a disservice as people in that live the life that we're living right now, because that's not what life is about. It's not living in an echo chamber of your own thoughts and opinions. Think about someone that you would want to date. I would want someone personally who loves me and also feels comfortable challenging me and pushing me to be the very best person that I can be. And that might also involve me hearing things that I don't believe in or I don't want to hear. If I wanted to just get someone to kiss my ass, I would talk to AI.
I would get on ChatGPT. Talk to a chatbot. Thank you for always bringing the conversation.
ChatGPT is like, you're always right. And I'm like, that's crazy. I am.
ChatGPT, really, such a people pleaser.
But like, that's what scares me about these people getting into these relationships with AI, because it's affirming everything that they think about and everything that they do, instead of challenging them to think differently and think outside the box and eventually grow as a human.
I agree. I mean, thanks for tying it back to dating. I feel like I'm trying to take the conversation everywhere but dating. Let's talk about marketing, social media, the algorithm. And you're like, no, but about dating.
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing it back to be about dating. But I just like, as I've really been going down all these rabbit holes with how much rage bait is out there, like just clickbait, how much content is just being created to play into maybe those pain points, those fears, and how we're developing these communities online outside of the algorithm that are these private kind of invite only spaces. And yet they don't become these spaces where we're like, what kind of connections are we making, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's fleeting, in my opinion. It's fleeting. It's not going to exist forever. I had actually a very interesting conversation with my doctor of all people yesterday because I went to get my annual checkup. And when you do that, you fill out a survey of, how are you feeling about life? Like, what's going on? And I was like, I feel really good outside of the fact that like the world feels like it's on fire. But from an emotional standpoint, like, is it affecting me? Yes. But I personally in my life, like, am happy with how things are going. But I had a little scale of ranking. So I marked it. And then I went to go talk to my doctor and I said, just to let you know, I did this because I just feel so disappointed by everything that's happening right now. And it's not a reflection of me and my personal life in any way, or that I'm, a hazard in any way or risk, it's more so of like what's going on. And she was like, I totally understand. Every single person that's come into this office has said the same thing.
Wow.
And we had this really long conversation about how we feel about what's going on in the world. And I thought her perspective was actually really helpful for me because she said that as much as it feels like we're going backward, our technological innovations and things that are happening in the world are moving us forward too in ways that are truly beneficial. When you think about the research that's being done, or you think about, she said, well, you could look at things from a surveillance standpoint and be like, now we can always be watched. Well, it's like, well, now we can also catch someone who did something really bad because we have the technology to do so. So there's two sides to it, and you could look at it either way. But I thought it was a very valid point to make, to say, yes, surveillance and things that are happening in the world can be scary. But on the flip side, now someone who did something really bad can now get caught, or now there's a real digital paper trail for things that didn't exist otherwise.
Shout out to your doctor.
I know. She was great.
Cool.
I was like, thank you so much. That was an amazing conversation. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I remain hopeful as well. I have to be. I'm a hopeful romantic. I mean, hopeful in general. I think a lot of the Flirties.
Why do you say hopeful and not hopeless?
Because I just like hopeless positioned as if like it's not going to happen, or like somehow I've missed my opportunity. I feel like you're kind of in this mindset of like always close, but just not quite there. Like you're close enough, but something's always just a little bit off or not quite right. But being hopeful, it just kind of flips the script. It changes the narrative in my mind. I feel like it changes my energy a little bit. And it switches this from like, oh, maybe the best was behind me, instead now the best is yet to come.
I love that.
I'm more so looking forward than in the past.
One thing that I've done actually that's been really helpful for me is I consider myself, I'm now going to adopt that. Thank you. Because I've always said that I'm a hopeless romantic, but I really am a hopeful romantic.
Yeah.
And it's true. And one thing that I've done that maybe would help other people that are listening is, once again, the algorithm can show us so many things that negatively impact how we perceive certain things. If you go on the algorithm and you see someone bitching about their dating experiences and how awful it is, you can't help but start to think about that for yourself, and then start to evaluate it for yourself for maybe ways that don't make you feel better, right?
Yeah.
So one thing that I've done is I've created a playlist on TikTok just titled My Dream Relationship. And whenever I see something that is really feel good, or something that I would genuinely cherish and value in a relationship, I add it to that playlist.
Nice.
Yeah. So like anytime I'm like feeling maybe, I don't feel ever down about it. To be honest, I don't review it that much, but it is there if I ever felt really sad about things, to go and review, and then also help remind me what my values are and what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
My standards.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, Flirties, there you go. And I'm going to have your links in the show notes below for this episode, of course, to check out. Is it a public playlist?
No.
Okay, never mind. You can't watch it, Flirties. Sorry, you can't watch it. But you can create it for yourself.
Yeah.
This is really, really hopeful because I feel like we're in this era of grievances, right? And we've probably been here for a while. And to relate it to dating, it's this kind of like, I'll hear from the ladies, right? All men are trash. Or like the guys, this narrative that just seems to be pushed over and over and over again, that, right, the women, they're all gold diggers. And so you feel like...
Is that one that people are saying?
Oh my God, Sam.
What?
This was... one of the rabbit holes I went down, this is a massive narrative being pushed, particularly I find in some of these algorithm-free spaces and really on Facebook.
What?
Oh my God. I stumbled upon page after page of these men's coaches talking to other men. And these pages had the subscriber counts in the hundreds of thousands.
Disgusting.
It was, I'm like, what do I do? Like,
if I think about anyone I'm around, any woman, they would never, ever say that they're one. Ever.
Yes. But it's like this little bit of coded language you see in a lot of dating content, right? Positioning men like if you're dating the guys, that you want someone that's high value, right? That's a provider, and that positioning like women, you want to be right in your feminine energy, which is like fine, but like look at how some of the language is coded.
Yeah,
I know. It
also shows you that you cannot appreciate yourself for exactly who you are. And that's challenging. Yeah. What does it mean to be high value?
Oh,
like, what
God.
does that even entail? I constantly hear this.
It's such a vague.
It's so vague. And what does it mean? Like, once again, show up in your actions day to day. Don't like say that you're I've had friends that have gone on dates where people will say like, I'm high value or I value these things. Like, okay, let's see it.
Yeah.
Like,
let's see the actions.
Thanks for telling me, but like, let's see it. If someone's a gold digger, is that showing up in their actions, or are you making assumptions for people?
Right. Are you putting pineapple on your pizza or not?
Yeah, exactly.
What is it?
What is your action? Go do it. And then let me watch,
Yeah. I mean, I've been like just staying up late night after night as of late. Like how do I want to show up, and how do I want to talk about dating and relationships, and just try and find a way to do that brings it back to maybe what Match.com was talking about. Authenticity, right? Finding the one. Yay. Gosh. Maybe I'm more aligned with Match.com than I thought. Just kidding.
I know. Please don't. I'm like, no. Delete that.
I will not. Yeah. I will not sell out. I will not do it. I promise. You've never seen a dating app collaboration here at Flirt Headquarters.
Yeah, please do not do that.
And I suspect you never will.
Yeah, good. Mm-mm. But I love it. Even having these conversations, though, is you're doing your audience, you're helping them so much, because I
hope so.
And we collectively need to talk about it much more than saying like men are trash, women are gold diggers, or dating apps suck or they don't suck. Like, I think they suck because they're hypocritical, but they still are ways that you can meet someone, and you just have to take it at face value and then decide for yourself if it's worth it or not.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to start to conclude the conversation. Somehow we're going to have to. This has gone by so quickly. There are just two more things I wanted to touch on before we say goodbye. One, you mentioned a few moments ago about this surveillance culture, which I find has positive and negatives, right? Like, I think about one of the negatives could be bullying. And then one of the positives, which maybe you could think is bullying, like these Facebook groups of like, all the guys on Tinder and Hinge you don't want to date, right? Right. And there's like screenshots and all the things. And if you're that guy, you're probably like, God damn it. But also just be better. Be better today. Yeah.
Be a good person. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the future, we're going to end here talking about AI.
Love.
I don't even know what question to ask.
Okay, great.
I mean, we're already here. Like, a lot of us are using ChatGPT for dating advice.
Using it for everything.
Therapists. Yes, for everything.
I use it for like my dog's medical records. I've uploaded everything, and I will talk to it like it's a vet. Not that I don't go see a vet, but it's like in between if I have questions about like his diet or his health, right?
Yeah.
Is AI evil? This is all so subjective. There is no objective way to look at these things. So once again, it requires people to take a step back and determine for yourself, what do you believe and why do you believe it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's so black and white that AI is evil and AI is amazing. Right. Just like surveillance is, going back to what my doctor said, is it a bad, the word surveillance has a certain connotation that says that you're being watched all the time. And to a degree, that's already happening.
Yeah.
And to a degree, for everyone that's saying that they don't use AI, you have been using AI. Every time you go use Netflix, you're using AI. So there's no way to circumnavigate these things unless you want to go back. And like, there's these YouTubers that live in the 1800s. Like that's their YouTube channels. Like they'll like go live in like olden times.
Oh my God.
Which doesn't really make sense because like they have YouTube, but like,
yeah.
Like that's a little contradictory.
Are you recording this?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like
how's the Wi-Fi? 5G?
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening?
What's the password? Like they're doing this. Like if you want to go live quote unquote off the grid, you can do that. I don't think your life is going to be better if you do that. I think you're going to realize that despite everything that's going on, you can use these things the way that you want to help yourself, in ways that you want to help yourself. I don't know. That's like a very broad, maybe non-answer, but it's not black and white. You're probably already being surveilled and you probably already use AI, even if you are against it. Do I think that you should support with your money companies that you don't believe in? No, of course not. Use your wallet to support companies that you believe in. But
I love a boycott. I sure do.
Boycott. Oh I wake up and I'm like, who are we boycotting today?
I'm obsessed with it. I've boycotted so many companies and artists.
Oh,
right.
God.
Musicians, like across the board, love a boycott. And I don't miss anything or anyone I've boycotted.
Yeah.
At all.
Great. Right. So, but you're doing that based on your values. So that's something that's really important to you. I think if you are boycotting AI, you will have to do a much deeper evaluation of where AI is popping up because it's everywhere now. Like you are not going to be able to listen to Spotify without AI. So if you're really that against AI, and I respect it. Just know who you're supporting and why you're supporting it. But I love a boycott too. I'm like, I'm not going to Target. Good luck.
Right. And I haven't quite boycotted AI just yet. I don't know. I mean, I know that one's going to be hard.
Pick and choose.
Because it is here. It's here to stay. It is a part of everything we do. Like you mentioned, Netflix, Spotify already. If you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube, right? Maybe it came with a suggested video. The algorithm was like, you might like this. Like sometimes I think about AI from the perspective of connection, right?
That's
like what happens.
Really nice of you. Oh, like I thought you were saying like I connect with it.
Oh, well, a little bit. AI gets me.
But when you're saying connection, what do you mean by that?
Like AI it's not a person. It's not like, I think we might be like wading into this territory where you almost feel like this kinship with a machine, right? With super chips housed in some warehouse, maybe thousands of miles away. Like it doesn't replace that human connection and interaction. Like it doesn't replace leaving your house, your apartment, whatever, and just going to a concert or meeting new people or going out and flirting, right?
Totally. Like the pendulum always swings back. I think the people that are focused on AI right now and think that it is the solution for everything will realize that the contrast of AI versus human connection, how important human connection is to their own development, to their own growth, to their own connection with other people. We're already starting to see it happen. Yeah. So we can demonize AI, but I do think that people are going to naturally swing back the other way of being like, just like people have with dating. A lot of people are like, I don't want to use the apps. I want to go meet someone in person. Love that. Yeah,
I could talk to you forever. Sam, this has been so much fun. I want to send the Flirties your way to your socials where they can follow you, find you, and learn more.
Yeah. I'm at Sam Ogborn, SAMOGBORN. on Instagram and YouTube, and which YouTube I need to get better at. That's my project this week.
All right, we can both do that. I recently have rededicated myself to YouTube as well. This whole conversation will be streaming on YouTube. I'll tag you.
Amazing. Okay, yes, love. And then on TikTok, I'm Sam Ogborn with 2 N's. Mm-hmm. And that's it. I don't know. That works for me. I'll send all the Flirties your way. Your videos are just, it's like a stop the scroll for me. Every time you come up, I'm like, I am watching a Sam video for sure. I will have your YouTube as well as your socials here in the show notes. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Flirties, that's a wrap on this episode of Flirtations, the Dating in the Age of Algorithms episode of the program with the incredible Sam Ogborn. Sam, thank you so much for being on the show today. I've been following Sam for a while and just really enjoy her content, her videos, what she creates and posts about, and just loved having this conversation with her and bringing it to you, the Flirties. Today, I hope you, enjoyed listening, got some amazing new insights, takeaways, some thought-provoking content here in this conversation. But that's what we do here on Flirtations and at Flirt Headquarters. We go there and have some really interesting and fun conversations. Yes, so thank you again for being here. That's going to do it for me, Benjamin, the Flirt Coach here at Flirt Headquarters. Please rate, review, subscribe to the show if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. All of your support means so much to me. And yes, if you would please share this episode or another favorite episode of the show with a friend, someone you want to share some BFE, Big Flirt energy with, I'd really appreciate it. All right, signing off officially. There's only one thing left to say and do, and that is to wish you flirty, very happy flirting.